Hey, it's Friday. Welcome back. I'm Nadawa from Paperflow Designs, and as you can see right here on this little banner, today I'm going to be showing you how to draw a shamrock in Inkscape. Finish that up. So if you are on my email list, you already got the email about this, which means that you had a chance to get and download the color palette, which is free. If you are not and you're joining me just now for the first time, let me show you where you can get this color palette to make this in the same colors. So if you head over to paperflowdesigns.com/blog/how to draw a shamrock, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page and then download this color palette for free. If you joined me last week when I drew a pot of gold, you probably already have it. It's the same color palette from then. The only other thing is there's also the digital paper sheets that I'm using. So once I get the video started to show you what I'm doing, if you want to make the same one that I'm doing, you can get my digital sheets. These are the glitter that you see inside of the shamrock. It comes from the Lucky Charm kit. So that is a pack, a digital pack that has like 5 digital glitter sheets and 3 phrases. So it's all this St. Patrick's Day theme things and digital assets that I use to make these designs that you're seeing, that we're doing together. Right. And you can also go over to my blog and get that in the same place. So if you can't remember all of that I just said, just go over to paperflowdesigns.com, type in Shamrock, and you can get all of that. You can get the free color palette and the kit. Right. As you're coming in, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. If you've done any of these tutorials along with me, let me get this party started. It is Friday. I'm happy to be here. Still like a little bit of light outside before what are we going to do? Spring forward? Yeah, move the clocks forward. What is that, like in a month's time? So for right now, there's still light. When it's evening for me. It might be afternoon for you. Right. I'm going to start and take the title off so you can get the full view and see as we're starting. So all this is going to be done in Inkscape. I'm using version 1.0. It should still work whether you're using an older version or a newer version. It's a pretty basic, design that we're doing, this shamrock. Get that started. All right, so I'm starting off with the circle tool, which is also called the ellipses and circles. I made one, and then I used the color dropper to change the color. So that's the free color palette. I already have it imported inside of Inkscape here. And make the screen a little bit bigger for you. There you go. So I duplicated that circle. Right now I'm doing the leaf, the first leaf. So I'm just using basic shapes. I'm using 2 circles and a triangle to make that leaf. And it's going to kind of remind you of the heart shape that we did in the Valentine heart wreath design. So I'm just going to double click on the triangle so that I can adjust the corners. Take the comments here in case anybody has any questions. If you are watching this on the replay, you can still go ahead and ask your questions right in the comment section. I try to come back and respond to the questions that are in here. So basically, I'm just adjusting this, moving this triangle up and down until I get that heart shape. And to do that, if you're using your graphic tablet and a pen, you can just use it with the pen. You can use your pen to do this, or you can also use a mouse to do this. So if maybe you're just starting out and you haven't purchased a graphic tablet yet, or maybe you're not used to using the pen, you can still do this with a regular mouse. I do suggest, however, once you start getting a little bit more used to Inkscape, maybe go ahead and invest in a graphic tablet if you know that you're going to stick with it. Just because when you start making designs that are a little bit more intricate, it's easier if you're using a pen to make some of these designs instead of a mouse. Because in the beginning, I was using my mouse and I was noticing that my hand would kind of like cramp up after a while. Even if you're making a basic design, once you're drawing for a while, because some of these designs, it depends on, how long it takes you. It might take you, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on what you want to do. If you want to add like lots of stuff to it. And after an hour of using just your mouse, your hand might start cramping up. And I suggest go ahead and use a pen. It'll just help with that. All right, so I've got the three shapes now. You can see the two circles and the triangle. I'm going to select all of them, and then I'm going to unite them. And then I'm going to zoom in, and I can see where there's like some pointy corners on the nodes that I don't want. So I can just click on that node. You can see on the right side, I'm going to do the same thing. Click on that little node that's sticking out, and then I can just delete it. So then I have a nice, smooth surface on my heart. So this heart is actually going to be the base of my clover. I'm going to take this same heart shape. I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to rotate it. But before I rotate it, what I'm doing there is I just move the cross down to the point of the heart. What that does is just changes your access point so that when I rotate it, it's not going to rotate from the middle. It's going to rotate from the bottom, which is what I want. You can still just, you don't have to do that, but it's just like a little extra step that helps. I can still rotate it without having to move I call it the axis point. I don't even know if that's the real name of it, but yeah, it turns it on that axis. So I double click to get my rotating arrows. As you can see, when I click once, I get the straight up and down arrows. When I click twice, I get the curved arrows, which just means that I can rotate it. So now you see I've got 3 leaves, all starting from that same heart shape. I'm going to draw a rectangle now, just using the rectangle tool. Using my color dropper, I'll change the color. And then I will just move that rectangle right underneath my leaves. Here I'm going to select the 3 leaves and unite them. So you can see the clover starting to take form now. And then I'm going to shrink the stem. I'm going to select those 2 nodes and I'm going to drag it out to the right so that I can put a little curve on the stem, just because it's more fun that way. At least I think so. All right, as you're coming in, say hi. Let me know if you use Inkscape. All right, so now I've got my leaves and I've got the stem. I've duplicated the leaves to make that inner portion. And I'm just going to change the color. So I use the color dropper, click on the color dropper, and I'm using that dark green color for the inside set of leaves. Hi, Vicky. Thanks for joining me. You're new to Inkscape. I think you're going to love it. Once you start playing around with it, that's a really fun program. And a lot of people, they kind of underestimate it because it's an open space program. But it has pretty much all the capabilities that you can find in Adobe Illustrator. All right, so now I'm just shrinking the inner leaf that I've done to kind of give it that offset look. So we still have, right now, just 3 basic shapes. We have the set of leaves in the back. The 3 leaves is actually one piece, which is the light green color. We have the second set of leaves in the dark green color on top. And then I have the stem. So it's still 3, see? You can see where I just click to get the nodes. And here I'm just cleaning up the nodes again. So anything that's sticking out that I don't want, I can click on the nodes and then I can just delete the node that I don't want. All right, and from here, I'm almost ready to use the glitter sheets. I've already imported it into Inkscape. It's just sitting on another layer that I've hidden, just so that I can have it ready. You don't have to do that. I mean, you can also import it when you're ready to use it. And since they are JPEG files, they're easy for you to import and bring it in. All right, so I'm still just adjusting it. Sometimes you kind of like feel like you have to be a perfectionist and like keep moving things around, move it a little bit to the left, move it a little bit to the top. And sometimes after all you did all of that, you end up back in the same place that you started out with. I know that happens to me a lot. And I'm just looking and I'm like, oh, maybe if I just put it a little bit like to the left, a little bit on top. And then I realized, okay, 5 minutes later, I should have just left it the way I had it. All right, what I'm doing here is I'm taking a mix of those two colors. You can do that with the eyedropper tool again. Just by clicking on it. So you click on the eyedropper tool and then you will like kind of drag it over to two different colors. So the piece that's selected will turn into that. So this one is my third inner leaf that I'm drawing. And I just double click on it so that I can shrink it and put that inside. Now I'm selecting everything and I'm going to duplicate it. So now I have two solid color sets, but I'm going to make the second set the one with the glitter sheets. So now I'm just going to the layer that has my glitter sheets. I'm going to make it visible so that I can see them. If you don't know about using layers in Inkscape and all that stuff, I do have a course that teaches you how to use Inkscape called So Simple SVG Files. So Simple SVG Files. I'm having a hard time talking tonight. You can go to my website at paperflowdesigns.com/courses to find out about that. And I walk you through all the steps from downloading Inkscape to making written text SVG files to making designs just using basic shapes again. All right, so now I've got my rainbow glitter sheet, which comes from my kit, the Lucky Charm kit. I'm going to clip it into the third piece. So I've just got it sitting there on top. I'm going to lower it down to the layer that I have the oh, I can't find words. Oh, I'm going to lower it down to the layer that I have the shamrocks on. Because remember, I was telling you that my glitter sheets were on a different layer, just because I was hiding them before so they wouldn't be in the way. So I've moved everything over to that layer. So I've clipped it, and now you can see that it just clips it right into that shape. I'm going to do the same thing with that medium, the dark green color. So I put my glitter sheet on top. And then I'm gonna go back to my shamrock layer again. So just like with Adobe Illustrator, you can work with different layers in Inkscape. And now I'm just gonna select those two pieces and then clip that. You see, now we have a rainbow version, a rainbow glitter version, and a solid color version. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna unite the stem and the lower level leaves together. So instead of having the stem apart, it's connected to the leaves. I'm just going to move it around so I can show you that that is done. You can see I have, what's that, 1, 2, 3 layers over there, and I'll do the same thing with the one on the left. select everything, and you can see I have 3 different layers of leaves. So that'll give you a nice clean cut if you want to bring that into Cricut to cut that out. So that is how to draw a shamrock in Inkscape. I hope you like that one. This is the 3rd tutorial in my St. Patrick's Day drawing series. If you want to see the other ones, you can just click on the videos to find that, or if you can go on my blog if you like and just type in St. Patrick's Day, and you can see all of those tutorials. I hope you like that. Let me know if you did. If you have any questions about it, I'm here to help you. Go ahead and drop your questions in, even if you're watching the replay. Let's see if there are any questions. Oh, Vicky says, nice. Thank you very much. I hope you like that. And I hope you try it too. You mentioned that you're a beginner to Inkscape, and you can see that this is something that, you can probably give this a try and make it yourself. The hardest part I always say is getting started. Once you get started and do it a few times, you get used to it, and then you want to make more and more things. One thing I'll show you. So this is the pen that I use with the graphic tablet. So it just has like this little, I don't know what the little, but it's not lead, but they have the nibs. Haha. The nibs, it comes with like interchangeable nibs, and I use that with the graphic tablet to draw. So basically, some of them you can charge them beforehand. This one I charge it with a little wire, and it's connected to my computer. And then it's connected to, it's not connected to the computer, it's connected to the graphic tablet, and then I can draw. So while I'm drawing on the tablet, it shows up on my screen. In the beginning, that can take a little while to get used to if you're not used to, drawing and not seeing what you're drawing, right there on the paper or on the tablet. You have to like draw and then look at the screen. It takes some getting used to, but once you learn it, it's fun. All right, yes, Vicky says she's gonna try it. Please do. Let me know how that works out for you. Let me know what you make. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back again next Friday. Next Friday will be the 4th lesson in my St. Patrick's Day series. Once again, if you're on my email list, you're going to get an email beforehand so that you have a chance to download the color palette, get the kit if you need it, and just see any details about the drawing. If you're not on my email list, go over to paperflowdesigns.com/blog/how to draw a shamrock. There's a little mailing list. You can get signed up on there. It's free. Join me. You get to relax on Friday, draw something fun that you can use. All right, guys. Thanks again. I'll see you again next Friday.